Hello and welcome to a very special episode of This is Paris, the show that's all about Paris Saint-Germain. This week we celebrate the champions. Les Rouges et Bleus have capped off a stunning domestic season with an 8th Ligue 1 crown. We warm up for the Coupe de France final with our first ever winning captain Dominique Batonnet, and goalkeeper Gianluigi Buffon joins us to talk about his first season in the French capital.
Ciao, sono Gigi Buffon, guardate This is Paris.
But we start this week on the training pitch at the Uradoux Training Centre with two huge matches on the horizon. First up, Paris Saint-Germain could secure the Ligue 1 title in week 33 of the season at the Parc des Princes against Monaco, before taking on Rennes in the final of the Coupe de France 6 days later. And coach Thomas Tuchel was hoping to welcome back several injured players who have been on the sidelines in recent weeks, starting with attacking trio Neymar Jr., Edinson Cavani and Angel Di Maria, who all looked sharp and raring to go. And while the players were being put through their paces, the club's kitmen were hard at work preparing a special jersey to pay tribute to one of the symbols of the French capital, Notre Dame Cathedral. It was seriously damaged by a fire earlier in the week and only saved thanks to the courage and determination of the Paris Fire Brigade. The players arrived at the Parc des Princes just under 2 hours before kick-off of the Week 33 clash against Monaco, and already crowned French champions, after second place Lille were held by Toulouse some 2 hours earlier and could no longer catch the defending champions. After just 32 matches, it was the second fastest Ligue 1 title win in the history of the French First Division, after Paris won it after 30 matches in 2016. Outside the park, the fans were enjoying a wonderful warm spring evening and looking forward to celebrating with the team an 8th title in the club's history.
We are so happy. Honestly, they deserve it.
It's great, because now we can celebrate the title all together. It's a great moment. For me, it's always great, always the same feeling. I was here when we were struggling, so even if the Champions League wasn't great, a trophy is still a trophy for us. We've been through some tough times, but I'm glad I've always stuck by the team, and now I'm enjoying the good times too. And a highlight of this season? The two classiques against Marseille. It's the biggest match of the season. The classique, the match you have to win. I was lucky enough to be here for the match against Lyon and 5-0 at the park. Brilliant. Mbappé has been incredible while the others have been missing with injury. So Mbappé's performances have really impressed me.
I'm Brazilian, but I love Kylian. I have a tattoo of him, and I think he did great things.
Inside the changing room, everything was in readiness for the clash, with the special Notre Dame jerseys for a special night, where the capital club not only celebrated its heroes on the pitch, but also those of Monday night. 500 firefighters and their family members were invited to the park, and 2 of the heroes of Monday night and 3 children of firefighters took the kickoff in front of a sellout crowd.
For me, it's an honor to be invited here after what happened this week in Paris. An honor to represent the Paris Fire Brigade.
Monday was really a big night for us. We stayed all night fighting the fire at Notre Dame. And now we're all very happy to have saved the cathedral and to be invited here with the kids to the Parc des Princes.
Toujours bien placé.
Un vrai bloc équipe.
On salue tous leur victoire.
Ils ont fait preuve d'une grande détermination.
C'est leur victoire.
Paris came into the match on the back of 2 4-0 wins over Monaco this season in the Trophée des Champions in Week 13. But it was Ronnie Lopez that fired the first shot in anger, forcing Alphonse Areola into a smart save, the keeper making his 100th appearance in Rouge et Bleu. And after that save, Kylian Mbappé did the rest. A length of the field counter-attack begun by Marco Verratti, and the World Cup winner exchanging passes with Moussa Diaby with a breathtaking acceleration, netting the opener against his former club on 15 minutes. Dani Alves then laid on a second for Mbappé 7 minutes before the break. And there was still time for Areola to produce another flying save to keep out Gelson Martins and preserve the 2-0 lead at half-time. The perfect night got even better for Les Rouges et Bleus as coach Thomas Tuchel brought on Neymar Jr. Nearly 3 months to the day after breaking a bone in his foot against Strasbourg in the Coupe de France round of 64. And the Brazilian number 10 was straight into the action, setting Mbappé on his way. The post denying the Ligue 1 top scorer a hat-trick before Dani Alves twice went close. But Kylian wasn't to be denied for long. His 3rd triple of the season duly arrived 11 minutes into the second half. And at 20 years of age, he became the youngest player ever to score 30 goals in a Ligue 1 season. 10 minutes from time, Alexander Golovin netted a consolation goal for the visitors. But this was always going to be Paris's night. The final whistle confirming the 3-1 victory and marking the start of the festivities. It's great, and it's our reward for an excellent season. There's nothing more to add. It's another trophy in the cabinet, and we hope to continue winning more. It's good, very good. It's a good feeling, and very deserved. The team has been excellent throughout the season, and I'm very happy. This is my first ever championship win. The team was great, and without a team, it's impossible for a coach to win anything. It was good, a good night. We won, and we celebrated the title with a win. And it's good to play with Presco again. Magnificent. We get along really well. You know, he had his first ever training with me in the reserves. Well, you've come a long way together. Yes, we have. It's incredible. These are moments we work towards, that we work all season for. It's important to celebrate, because they deserve it. I'm glad they're celebrating, and that I'm dry, for the moment. The Champagne War was good. It was good. People running everywhere. Julian, you're a little bit wet. What happened? We are the champions. A little something happened in the changing room, which is normal when you win something. Champagne. Everyone goes a bit crazy when you win a trophy like that. So it's good to celebrate a little. Coming up on This Is Paris, Gigi Buffon looks back over his first season in Rouge et Bleu and ahead to the 102nd Coupe de France final between Paris and Rennes. And Dominique Battenet talks us through that first ever cup win back in 1982. Gianluigi Buffon is a modern-day legend, a global superstar with a long and illustrious career. But this season, the Italian experienced something new with Paris, sharing the goalkeeping duties with a fellow World Cup winner, Alphonse Areola. But as always, Gigi turned it into a positive experience for himself and the team. This year has definitely been something different, something I wasn't used to, but something I happily accepted. I happily accepted it because I'm a person that loves being a part of a group, with the other guys, always trying to convey positivity. And I have to say that with Alphonse, Sébastien Cibois and Thomas, we've created a really great working unit with friendship and admiration, and I think that's our greatest victory this season. Alphonse is a great goalkeeper and has a big future because he has outstanding qualities. And I hope, in some way, that I have done my bit to help him. Thanks to last weekend's win over Monaco, Gianluigi Buffon and Paris were crowned French champions with 6 matches to spare. An 8th consecutive league title in a row for the former Italy keeper, who revealed to This Is Paris the key to his incredible success. Winning takes a lot of mental and physical energy. To keep working well, to keep finding the right answers, and to keep playing well. And not everyone is capable of doing that. It doesn't do it justice to just say, they won the league because they're the strongest. They won games because they're the strongest. No, you win because, for sure, we are the strongest, but because in each of us there is a professionalism and a pride that we give to the service of the team throughout all the weeks of training and in each and every single match.
Ah oui, il est passé devant Meunier et Thuram en retrait. Quelle parade! Oh, quel arrêt de Gigi Buffon!
I have to say that this year, I've been surprised by the standard of the championship, because when you don't play here, maybe you think there's Paris and that's it. But I can tell you, in Ligue 1, I've seen Lille, Lyon, Rennes, and also Strasbourg in the league, who I think would all do very well in the Serie A.
Sono 4 squadre che anche nella Liga italiana, secondo me, sarebbero protagoniste.
This season, Gianluigi Buffon enjoyed some stunning successes, but also the disappointment with that cruel elimination at the hands of Manchester United in the Champions League.
Quest'anno
I think this year we can really have some regrets. Because this year, in my opinion, our squad had the potential and the capacity to go all the way. I'm convinced of that. The match we played was not a match we deserved to lose. Honestly, this match, it's very hard to explain what happened, because I lost 3-1, and I don't know how. It really is very hard to explain. I think we made mistakes, and certainly, if we have another situation like this in the future, we won't make those same mistakes. 4-time defending Coupe de France winners, Les Rouges et Bleus take on Rennes in this year's final, a Brittany side that they've already beaten twice this year in Ligue 1, but must still be wary of. I think Rennes are a very dangerous side. Very dangerous because I remember the game in Rennes and the game here in Paris. We won 3-1 and 4-1, but they were very difficult matches. The fact is, it's a one-off match, a final. And it brings the two sides much closer together. The gap isn't as wide as it can be over 38 matches. In the final, and in this case, there is a favourite. It's us. But whereas in the league, our chances of beating Rennes might have been 80-20, in the final it's more like 60-40 or 65-35. because it's a final where anything can happen. You can have a player sent off, an injury, you could hit the post, so we have to be very careful. Paris Saint-Germain and the Coupe de France is a beautiful love affair that began some 37 years ago with a first triumph, and where Les Rouges et Bleus stars have shone brightest ever since. In 1982, Jean-Marc Piloget scored the winning penalty and secured a first ever trophy for the capital club. The next year, Paris went back-to-back with a superb performance against league champions Nantes. Trailing 2-1 at half-time, Safet Susic equalised before Nambatang Toko netted the winner. In their return to the Coupe de France a decade later, Paris locked horns with Nantes. Antoine Kombouaré opened the scoring from the penalty spot before David Ginola with a superb free kick, and Alain Roche completed the club's third triumph. "1995 was a big year for Les Rouges et Bleus, winners of the Coupe de la Ligue against Bastia. They did the first ever cup double against Strasbourg. Set up by Rai, Paul Le Guen got the only goal of the game. And Rai was there again 3 years later for the first ever final at the Stade de France. The Brazilian opened the scoring against Lens. Marco Simone doubled the lead before Smitzer's consolation strike. It was win number 5. Number 6 arrived in 2004 against Ligue 2 side Châteauroux. Pedro Miguel Pauleta got the only goal of the game. Two years later, and 2 wondrous goals from Bonaventure Kalou and Vikash Durasu saw Paris win the first ever Classique final against Marseille. In 2010, the Coupe de France was the highlight of a difficult season. Guillaume Moirot nodding past Monaco's Stéphane Ruffier for a slender 1-0 victory. In 2015, Les Parisiens won the quadruple courtesy of Edinson Cavani's only goal in the final against Auxerre. In 2016, the Classique was back, Cavani and Ibrahimovic on the scoresheet as Paris ran out comprehensive 4-2 winners, joining Marseille with 10 wins, the most in Coupe de France history. Twice defending champions Les Rouges et Bleus were pushed all the way by Angers and had to wait to the 91st minute and an Issa Sissoko own goal to become the most crowned club in the competition's 100-year history. And last year, against amateur side Les Herbiers, Paris secured a record 4th consecutive Coupe de France, courtesy of Giovanni Lo Celso and Edinson Cavani. And the first man to get his hands on the coveted Coupe de France for Paris Saint-Germain was this man, Dominique Battenet. Emblematic captain between 1978 and 85, he led the capital club to its first ever silverware back in 1982. I spent some really great years with Paris Saint-Germain, with some really nice players, really good guys, who were always there when the going got tough, were really good mates. We had an emblematic president in Francis Borelli, who always ensured there was a great mood within the club. He was our #1 supporter. He probably would have liked to play with us. No, they're all great memories. I played 2 finals. PSG's first Coupe de France, which was very important. It was the longest final in the history of the Coupe de France. A great match with goals and twists and turns.
Cherche la faille. Et là, c'est la voici la faille pour Platini et but. Michel Ngop, il a 3 Stéphanois devant lui, s'il en passe un, il y en aura encore 2 ensuite, alors ça va être très difficile et voilà, c'est préférable de jouer avec Souriac en soutien et qui reva s'enfermer là-bas. Souriac, à Rocheteau, et puis égalisation de
Dominique Rocheteau's last gasp equalising goal sent the Paris bench and the entire park mad and provided us with one of the most famous moments in the history of French football when the Paris president, Francis Borrelli, kissed the Parc des Princes pitch.
Pillanger réussit le pénalty, c'est gagné pour le PSG. Pillanger, ça y est, le Paris Saint-Germain remporte la Coupe de France. C'est terminé, victoire du PSG, Francis Borrelli qui est à ses côtés.
This first Coupe de France with Paris Saint-Germain really meant a lot to me, because I'd already won it with Saint-Etienne, but this was the first with Paris. We'd worked so hard over 4 years, making a name for ourselves in the league, and that first win in the Coupe de France really sent the club into orbit. It was great.
De YouTube de Paris Saint-Germain.
Abonne-toi à la chaîne YouTube du Paris Saint-Germain.
Subscribe to the Paris Saint-Germain channel.
Inscreva-se no canal do YouTube Paris Saint-Germain.